All right, guys, so let's get in to the presentation. So who am I? I am Marina, the trader chick, and this is me. And today what I want to really talk about is how to get over yourself and to actually have fun in trading with these 4 basic strategies. Okay, so we are going to be getting into all of this good stuff. But before we do, I have a question for you guys. And I want you to be pretty honest and tell me for real. How many of you guys actually have fun when you are trading? And don't be shy because, sometimes it feels better to say that you are, even though deep down inside you don't feel like you are, right? Good. Andrew's loving it. Excellent. How many more of you guys are really enjoying it and just having a blast doing it? No fun. Yeah, on good trades, right? It's like, well, life is great when it's great, but when it's not great, are you still enjoying it, right? It is stressful. So today I want to be talking a little bit about how to get past a lot of this. Here's another question for you. And I know this is going to seem really off topic, but just go with it. Okay? How many of you guys drive a car or have been in a car? Yeah, I know it sounds pretty crazy. You're probably thinking, well, of course I did. Everybody did. Well, here's the reality check, okay? Or more of a shocking fact. Did you know that worldwide there are at least a gazillion car accidents each year? And when I say by gazillion, it's just my way of exaggerating, saying that there is a lot. Too many to really count, right? Okay, that's the reality. This is the reality of driving a car. It's a scary thing. Yet, every single day, we personally, who is here in the presentation right now, get into our cars and we jam out to tunes while driving, either with our kids or on our own. I know that I do. I sing, I enjoy the ride, right? Sometimes we're even texting on our phones. And you know what? I know I've seen you guys do it. We've all done it. And that's the horrible part about it. And like you said, you only ride motorcycles when it's not bad out. But here, I like to ride my motorcycle a lot too. It's more of a scooter. And yes, I've done it with my 2 boys and my puppy. Yep, we like to live on the edge. Now, let me ask you guys this. How many of you guys have lost money in the markets? Yeah, don't be shy. How many of you guys have actually lost money in the markets? Be realistic. We're here. We all have been in this together. Okay? We all know how it is. Yeah, I have personally lost a ton. I did. It sucks. It's horrible, but here, this is the fact. Look at me right now. I'm still here. I get to hug my kids every day, go out with my husband, travel, and have a good time. So, why is it that when we get into a car where the chances of real life injury or even fatality are real, and yet we could still have a lot of fun? Yet, when we trade, and the worst that could possibly happen is that we lose some money, we treat it so much more deadly serious and lose all the fun out of it. And I'm not talking about those people who are gamblers and put the money that they have for feeding their families, paying rent. I'm talking about the money that we put aside for trading because we have to have quote unquote play money, right? So why is it? Why do we do it so much more seriously? Why are we not enjoying the process like we would when we get into the car? But don't get me wrong, you cannot get into your car and just wing it. You have to know how to drive a car, right? You have to understand the basics of driving a car, right? You have to understand where is the steering wheel. You have to understand where is the clutch, where is the gear, where is the windshield wipers. You have to know these things, right? You have to understand where's your seatbelt, the brakes, the accelerator, right? We all have to know those basics. It's really, you can't do it otherwise, right? Trading is so much like driving a car, but without the crazy risk that is involved. Okay? Because here's the reality. When you have the basics of trading, if you don't have the basics of them, you will end up crashing. But when you do, you can enjoy the process that much more. And after years of learning other people's strategies and following their trade setups without having any idea why I was taking trades, or in other words, never learning how to actually drive my own car or read my own charts, do you know what happened to me? I ended up losing big time. And the majority of the times, that's the reason why we end up losing for a couple of reasons. One is we are sitting in all these different trade rooms and buying all these academies and just following that person's strategy versus actually learning how to drive your own car, right? Or you don't have any strategy and just winging it by throwing your money into the market without understanding what the market is doing. It either falls into one of those two categories, correct? So what happened to me was I was sitting in a chat room. I was following somebody else's, they were saying, this is a trade. You got to get in. I just took a trade. I'm sitting here thinking, okay, well, if everybody else is taking that trade, I have to take the trade. By the time I realized that, I ended up chasing that trade. When I finally got in, because I was chasing the trade, it went in the wrong way. What did I do? I removed my stop. I put in a mental stop, another killer for everybody. We all know that. And I ended up losing over almost $4,000 in less than 5 minutes because my entire account was taken out, right? And I literally blew my account. And this was not the first time in 2 months within 5 minutes, okay? And did I end up stopping after that? No, I revenge traded for another 2 days, ending up losing another $2,000 almost. This is how the reality of it is. It's emotional. We lose complete control when we do not have the basics, the foundation in place. It's literally like getting into a car and it going and just pressing on the gears on the accelerator and just going crazy, ending up in the wrong lane in a highway without any control. You're going to totally crash, right? That's just how it is. But because we do know the basics, we do have a foundation when we get into a car. We know where the seatbelt is. We know how to manage the brake. We know how to manage the accelerator. We can control it, correct? And that's what it is all about, right? So that's what I want to talk about it today. So basically what happened to me, I literally totaled my car 2 times. And that's when I had my official breakdown. And that's not a pun intended, right? Here's what happens when you have a breakdown. You normally have two decisions to make. One, you quit. You get out, you never do it again, whatever it is. In this particular case, is trading, or you have a breakthrough, right? So here's the thing. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Nacho Libre. If you haven't, go and check out that movie. It's adorable. It's such a fun movie. So we love Nacho Libre as a family, but I totally related to Nacho Libre, to Nacho in one point. Nacho is this character. He wants to be a luchador. So in Mexico, they have this lucha libre, which is this wrestling, and he desperately wants to be this wrestler. But the thing is, he sucks. He's horrible. And there's this one scene of him standing there, and he's in church lighting a candle, and he's saying, God, why did you give me this passion, this desire to be this warrior, this luchador, and I am so bad at it, right? So that's exactly how I felt when I broke down. I had my total breakdown. Why do I have this intense desire to become a trader and I feel that I'm just failing nonstop? Okay. And that's where everything changed for me because then I had a breakthrough. Okay. So what I realized, I actually did walk away. I totally walked away from the charts for like 3 or 4 months. The thing is with day trading is we all know that we can do it. We know that we can do it, right? I mean, that's the reason why we keep on coming back because deep down inside, we know that we can do it. So when I walked away, I was just suffering. Like I really wanted to get back to the charts, but I did get away. I kind of cleansed myself of that emotional craziness. And one thing I realized was I didn't fully understand the basics. I didn't understand the super basics. Like when I get into that car, how to turn on the ignition, how to put it into first gear or drive if you have an automatic. These things were never taught to me. And whenever I used to ask these questions in trade rooms or other areas, I would always be treated like I should be born with this information. And I recognize that many other people who are learning how to trade, they overlook the basics or they're never taught the basics. It's literally like a musical student that wants to learn the violin. And when they arrive to the academy, instead of going from the beginning, how to hold the violin, how to hold the bow, they literally get thrown into the symphonic pit and are expected to keep up with the rest of the musicians. And it's not possible. You have to start from the beginning. You have to start from the basics. And that's what I decided to do was to get back to the basics, right? It's not about the patterns. Don't get lost in the patterns of the chart. If you understand how to read the charts, the patterns will make sense to you. So you don't have to remember them or memorize them. They will just start, you'll understand. It's like when you're driving a car and you're driving in, school zone, you understand that's 25 miles per hour. If you're on a highway, you understand that there are certain rules. You cannot drive less than 50 miles per hour. This is not something you memorize. This is something that you understand, right? So that's what it's all about, right? When you're driving, it teaches you potential accidents. They teach you how to drive, yet your driver ed is still sitting with you, and they have the capability of pressing on that brake button pedal. Have you noticed that? But when you get out and you learn and really understand how to do it on your own, that's when you become a good driver, right? So it's not about the patterns. Yes, it's about reading the different language, and that's the basics. And that's what I started to really study when I came back to the market. I started to look at it and understand that it is a market, and I became fluent in it. And it's not a difficult market. And once you start to read it and learn it, that becomes our job as a trader. We start to understand that and really learn it and be able to read it. Here's some fun facts about me. I am Marina, the trader chick. I'm actually at NextPat. I live in Antigua, Guatemala. And actually, I want to give you a little bit of a secret that's going on right now. My entire area of Antigua right now is without power. So I am literally on my computer, on my battery, and I'm using my hotspot to give this presentation to you guys because 18,000 people are we are in a power outage right now. So fingers crossed that I am able to totally completely do this all right now for you guys. This is so unusual and it really sucks. So another fun fact about me, before I became a day trader, I was a fitness instructor and a travel writer. And the main reason I bring this up is so many people think that they have to come from a math background, an economics background, a financial background to be successful trading. Not at all. Anybody can do it as long as you give it time and truly understand and learn how to do it. Okay, that is the reality of day trading. And that's the beauty of day trading, I should actually say more so. Okay, and another fun fact, I am trilingual. I'm actually a Soviet Union refugee. I have moved from the Soviet Union over 40 years ago to the United States. So I speak Russian fluently. It is my mother tongue, but English is my main tongue. And I've now been living in Central America. We first lived in Costa Rica. Now I've been living in Central America for over 20 years. So Spanish is I am fluid and fluent in Spanish as well. The thing is with Spanish is that I learned it in my later years, right? And one thing I realized is when you learn a Spanish in your later years, not when I learned English, I was 6 when I learned English. It's a completely different process. When you learn a language, and I think quite a lot of us here are bilingual or trilingual, you go through this whole process, right? You have to go through a process in your head to really be able to understand, translate, and just learn the process of it. And that's when I realized that when I started to day trade, that the market actually has a language. And when we learn how to speak it and understand it, that's when everything's going to change for you guys. And that's when it becomes awesome. And day trading, it's the coolest thing ever. You get to work from anywhere. I have one chart. This is me, one chart. I work with my one laptop and we travel a lot. We normally travel 3 months or 4 months out of the year. Obviously, with the pandemic, it's been a lot less for obvious reasons. But this is it, and you could do trading from anywhere in the world as long as you have internet, and that's the coolest thing of all. I've also been featured, and maybe if some of you have even met me, I've been live and online with Money Show, Traders Expo, a lot with Investors Expo, Mint. So I've been on a lot of places as well. So I've been trading for quite some time. I personally trade the ES minis. That is my chosen instrument. But everything that I'm going to be showing you today can be applied to any instrument, any financial market, because it's about reading the charts. And why did I become an E-mini futures trader? Because you don't need to get started with a lot of money. You can start with $1,000, even less today. You don't need to be at the computer too long. You could start with I personally am at the computer around 1 or 2 hours because that's all you really need to do, right? Otherwise, your mind just goes into overdrive. And I'm a scalper. So I go in for really quick targets. And that's another reason why I could only really do shorter periods of time. And you only need two indicators. You don't need a lot of indicators. And that's the beauty of it, right? So if you're trading equities, it could be really tough. You have to do a lot of research, something that you don't have to do with the E-minis. You need to have a lot of charts and monitors because you normally trade different stocks at the same time, right? So that's the beauty of it. Okay, so this is basically what, an equities trader or somebody that trades a lot of instruments looks like. And this can really, really make me stress out. So that could take out a lot of your fun. If you're not having that much fun, you maybe want to check into the reason why. And sometimes it's because you maybe have too many indicators and too much softwares and too many monitors going on at once. And that will make anybody go completely crazy, right? So this is what my trading station looks like. This is it. I trade from anywhere, everywhere, and it's awesome, right? Oh, you trade 30 minutes a day, awesome. So you've got it, you've got it down. That's great. Can you travel anywhere? How many charts do you use? Because it could really help if you could do one, because that might be the reason why you're not moving from $700 to, the $7,000. Minimize, right? Simplification will actually be the better thing. A lot of people think the more different instruments I trade at once, the better it is for me. On the contrary, it's usually the opposite. You want to maybe just niche it down to just one or two, right? And that's the most beautiful part of all. So this is my chart. This is all that I use. I use two indicators and that's it. I will be talking a little bit more about the indicators I use, but I use the MACDs and EMA lines. Absolutely love it. So the MACDs, what are these? These are my favorite indicators. Why? Because this is the least lagging indicator. A lot of indicators that we use are lagging, right? They are a little bit off. So the MACDs, which is cool about it, is that they start to tell me when the market is starting to lose strength or is about to go into reversal before it actually happens. So it gives me that much more time to understand what's happening, right? And I use the EMA lines. I love my EMA lines. I use 3 of them. This is it. And the price action. Price action is key. Okay, so as I said before, the MACDs, the more strength I have, the more I see what is happening and where I can start to enter the trades. So let's talk about what is my MACD settings. I will be going into the live market, so I'll definitely show you, okay? But if I don't remember to do that, please remind me and I will definitely show you all my settings. So oops, what just happened here? What are the basics of day trading? Let's talk about market movement and the breakdown of a trend. Look, we all understand what is happening with trends, right? We totally get it. We know that there is an upward trend, a downward trend, and a sideways trend, correct? We know that. However, logistically, we don't fully understand the sideways trends. And that's something I really want to talk to you about, because I can guarantee you right now, if all of us go back into our back testing logs, into our trading journals, and we all should have them, we will see the majority of the money that we end up losing is usually during sideways trends. So once we can avoid that, going into that, we will not only be saving a lot of money, but we will also be truly learning how to avoid those areas. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. So here it is again, trending markets. We have the downward trend, sideways trend, upwards trend. What is an upwards trend? Super basic. It's each pivot is higher than the pivot before it, right? This is a beautiful upward trend. We could call this a bull market, market trending up, market going up. I don't care what you want to call it. This is where you are buying. This is when you are going along. What does that mean? It means that you are entering at a lower price point, exiting at a higher price point, and you're taking the profits in between. You are going long. You are buying. Okay, these is all terminology that you need to understand, because this is what you'll be hearing quite a lot of it. Downward trend, what is that? It's literally the opposite. Each pivot is lower than the pivot before it, right? This is a downward trend. And if you're sitting here saying, well, I don't care about downward trends, then you're not day trading. Day traders, we short as much as we long, sometimes even more. We trade the downward trend because it's all about technical analysis, and we probably make more money doing so. What is going short, selling. It's literally when you are entering at a higher price point, exiting at a lower price point, and you're taking that in between profit. Everybody does this. This is great. We as day traders need to understand this. It's all through technical analysis. We are shorting the market, right? We are banking that the market is going to continue lower, and we take that profit of that lower. Okay, the bear market trending down, market going down. Now, as I said before, I personally am a scalper, meaning that I go in for much smaller targets. So what I love to look at is overall momentum. We all know that it's overall momentum, but we could also really, really monetize the immediate momentum. What does that mean? It means that this is a deeper retrace, a correction that gives us an actual trend that we can monetize. And if it doesn't go too far, we could still be really in and out quick. And then if it fails, we know that the overall momentum is heading in the opposite direction. So we want to be ready to enter that immediately as well. So let's talk about these consolidation and transitional areas. I call them the trader's worst enemy. And how do we learn to spot them, and how do we avoid them? This is the key. So what is a consolidating market? I don't care what you call it. I know a lot of people call it so many different things. It's the chop, the indecision area, the exhaustion pattern, the channel, the sideways market. It doesn't matter what it's called. What is it? It's when the market is bouncing in between two areas. There's total indecision, uncertainty, right? And that's what we really want to focus on. It's that uncertainty. We want to stay out of these areas, right? So why is it that we lose so much money in these areas? Here's the main reason, right? I mentioned before, day trading, it's an emotional thing, correct? It's an emotional game. So what does that mean when it's emotional? Emotional means that we like to tell ourselves stories during these times, right? What does that mean, telling ourselves stories? So here's a good example. You just made a new friend, right? You're just in that new friend zone, and they invited you to a party. And you're really excited to go to this party because you don't really know them, but you really want to get to know them better. So they tell you they're going to call you the next day, and the next day comes around and they never call you. And what do you start to do? You start to create negative stories. Unfortunately, our mind seems to always go to the negatives rather than the positives. So the negative stories we come up with is, okay, maybe I said something wrong and they don't really like me. Maybe they talked to somebody and somebody said something bad about me. Maybe they changed their mind, right? We go through these stories. They're stories. They're not real, right? They're just created in our mind. And then 2 days later, this person calls you up and they're like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I dropped my phone in the toilet. I totally lost everybody's contacts. I had to run and get it fixed, right? So the real story was that they just lost the phone. Their phone got wet, right? So what happens in the market? We tell ourselves similar stories. And what happens is when we see these kinds of trending markets, this is the stories we like to tell ourselves. For one, there are two types of traders. The first kind of trader is the trend is your friend kind of a trader, right? Every single person in this room is going to fall into one of these two categories. It's just how it goes. So there's the trend is your friend kind of trader, right? Everything they see is the market. For instance, the trend is going up. Okay, so the market's got to go up. So when they see this kind of consolidating area, this indecision, they just say to themselves, you know, the market's continuing going up. It's been going up all day. I'm going for a long. And then there's the second kind of trader, which is the contrarian trader. And what does the contrarian trader do? I was a contrarian trader. It's an emotional thing. I don't do this anymore. I just read what the market tells me. But what is that? It's literally when you see a market trending in one direction, you say to yourself, you know what? The market's been trending upward the whole day. It's got to correct. I'm shorting that market. Neither one of those are true, correct? Because the market, what is it doing? It's going flat. And the market could either continue going flat and stop you out nonstop, or it could break out and continue going in the same direction, or it could completely transition. Two things that we don't have any idea about, but all we know is right now, and as our job as a trader is to read what's in front of us. Why? Because we traders only could do three things, and that's all there is. We are here to do three things. One, know when to get into a trade. Two, know when to get out of a trade. And three, and this is the most important and the least utilized. Do you guys know what the third one would be? Let me know if you know what the third job as a trader is. I'm going to wait a little bit because I'm really curious what you guys think the third job of the trader is. When not to trade. Yes, something to do with money management. Nothing to do with money at all. If you actually think about it, trading barely has anything to do with money, right? It's knowing when to get in, when the market is telling you to get in, when to get out because the market is telling you, and when to stay out. Guys, you have to know when to stay out because because the problem is, especially with newer traders, it's this trigger happiness. They believe that they have to be in and out of trades all the time, and that is not true. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen the show The Crown. It's on Netflix. It is not a chick flick. As a matter of fact, my father was the one that told me about it. It's a great show. Regardless, it's about Queen Elizabeth becoming the queen and the whole story, right? There's this one episode, it's in the beginning of the series, when Queen Elizabeth just becomes the queen and she has to learn all these new things, right? And one of the most important things is she has to know what action to take. And she wants to take a lot of action. And her queen mother says to her, the most important action you are going to be taking as a queen is not taking any action at all. And I know that a lot of people think, well, when I'm not entering a trade, I'm not doing anything. You are going to be doing more than anything during that time because it is about the discipline. Okay. And these consolidating areas, they will eat all of your money. They will eat all your profits and probably money in the bank. So knowing when to stay out and listening to the market is going to make you the successful trader. It is going to take you out of that 95 failures, 95% failures to that 5% winners. Okay. And that is without a doubt the most important of all. So this is what it looks like. These are consolidating areas. They will be happening all the time. Okay, we need to understand when they happen and to stay out. Because I go for such small profits, for me, a mini consolidation could actually eat my profits, right? Because it could stop me out. So I sit and I listen until it gives me that confirmation. These are what they look like. This is what consolidating markets look like. Channeling markets, exhaustion patterns. I don't care. And you know what? If it's sometimes the entire day, then you're going to be the good trader and you're going to sit out the entire day, right? I always give this analogy. For instance, you have 1 week off a year and you take a vacation and you are a surfer or you want to be a surfer and you get to Hawaii and the waves are flat that entire week. Are you going to go surfing when there's no waves? No, for sure not, because you cannot. But you're not going to get all pissed off at Mother Nature, right? You're not going to scream, "How dare you do this? This is my week. I need a wave." No, you'll get it. The ocean isn't going to perform for you. That's how it goes. Guess what, guys? The market isn't always going to be performing for you. So you need to understand that you need to sit out, and that's okay. Guess what? Life is not about sitting in front of the charts. When the market is not giving you anything, there are so many other amazing things that you could be doing. That's when you go out. Okay, go out, enjoy life. But you have to understand that you should not just be getting into trades just because you're sitting in front of your charts. And I cannot even tell you the amount of people that believe that that's what they need to do. And that's when they're not the good traders, right? So, how do we recognize when this is happening? Okay, and this is crucial. Look, the market respects areas. Respects areas, and we, as the trader who works for the market, also need to respect them and understand them. How do we recognize these areas? They are the support and resistance areas. So, what are support and resistance areas? First of all, a couple of things we need to do right now. And if you guys are not doing this, you are not going to be trading well ever. So, let's fix it right now because it's super, super easy and simple to do. First of all, let's pretend, I don't know if any of you guys know anything about Formula One racing. Even if you know very little, you still know that it's pretty dangerous, right? And it's pretty high pace. So here's the reality of Formula One racing. It is a known fact that 25% of the drivers for the racing season will either have a pretty serious accident or even a fatality, right? It's a known thing. So what do you think these drivers do when they get into their car before the race? Do you think they're just going to hop in and go? Absolutely not. They're going to get their safety belt on. They're going to get their helmet on. They're going to have their fireproof vest on. Uniform on, right? Because they don't want to be the 25% that gets, that could actually have an accident or die. Why is it that 95% of people fail in trading? Because they don't have their safety gears on. You need to have your support and resistance areas. Why? Because if you see them happening, you know that you need to stay out. Or if you are in a trade, get out before. Do not pretend you're going to beat the market or you're going to predict the market. It will never happen. You are not a big enough trader. I can guarantee you that right now. Okay. For anybody to move the markets, you need millions. And I doubt that that's the case for any of us here. Okay. And the other super important thing, besides understanding how important support and resistance areas are, is not to put in mental support and resistance areas. Do you know what that means by mental? It's kind of like saying, giving yourself a mental seatbelt and never clicking in, right? You're going to crash and you're going to crash hard. No mental seatbelt is going to save you. So what does it mean for mental support and resistance? People don't draw them in. Guys, why? Why not? Every single software platform that we use gives us free drawing tools. Even if you cannot draw a rectangle, you could certainly draw a line. Okay, guys? What is a resistance area before we do anything, right? Yes, there will definitely be a replay on this. Okay, first and foremost, what is a resistance area? It is the ceiling of the market. What does that mean? It means where the market has hit it 3, 4, or 5 or more times. Okay, and you need to draw it in because the market revisits this area and you want to already be prepared. This is a resistance area. Like I said to you guys before, I'm a scalper. I only trade for about an hour a day. Right here in front of you is pretty much an entire session of my trading. Do you see the resistance area? It is revisited over and over and over again. So if I'm in a trade and I know that there's a resistance area, I'm going to get out. I don't care if it continues and breaks through that resistance area. I'm not here to predict it because I want to make sure that I am safe and I have my money in the bank, because otherwise I am in a shitty place. And that's the reality. Okay. So draw these in, guys. This is not hard to do. We all recognize resistance areas, support areas as resistance, the ceiling, support areas. What is a support area? It is the floor of the ceiling of the market. It is the floor. It is where the market is hitting it over and over and over again. It is the floor of the market, guys. This is the place where the market is hitting it 3, 4, or more times. It could either change the trend, the whole trend, totally stop the trend, or continue with the breakout. But you've got to know and you've got to stay out and you've got to draw it in. Okay, support areas, guys, they are so important. Support and resistance areas, because this is when you can recognize when the channel is happening. So you know when it is. Do you really want to be anywhere in the market that looks this grindy, this choppy? Even if you have a mental support and resistance area, you still might not get it. But when you draw it in, it makes so much more sense, right? Do you want to be in a market that looks anything like this? Absolutely not. Look how ugly it is. It's terrible. Terrible. I do not want to be in this erratic kind of behavior. I'm okay with sitting out. That's the beauty of reading what the market is telling you, understanding it. And this is basic, guys. This is not buying some software. You don't need any of that. You could see this for yourself, right? Learn to drive your own car. Don't have your driver's ed teacher pressing on the pedal next to you. You'll never learn how to do it on your own. Okay? So I get a lot of people saying to me, okay, super, but how do I know when it's first beginning, right? And that is a very valid question. How do you know when it is first beginning? Reversal areas and divergences. I call this the trader's map to shift in direction and trend. We all know reversal patterns. We've heard of them probably, right? What are they? Double tops, triple tops, double bottoms, triple bottoms, head and shoulders, correct? This is so important. Guys, to me, this is the holy grail of trading. And guess what? It's free. It's on every charting platform because it's reading and understanding price action. But you cannot ignore it. You cannot ignore it. You have to read it. And I cannot even tell you the amount of seasoned traders that I work with that have been failing and losing or have not crossed that level to the next level of making money is because they never paid attention to the reversal patterns. And once they do, they're like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest aha moment. And when they couple it with divergence, that's it. Like the amount of money it saves them, the amount of times it helps them recognize when a new pattern is developing is incredible. What is divergence? I know a lot of people are like, well, what exactly is divergence? I hear that all the time. And again, totally free. No algorithms, no softwares are necessary to buy. What is it? So I said that I use the MACDs. So as you can see here, the price action is telling me that it is trending up, right? It's going up. Each pivot is higher than the other. But look at my MACDs below. It's going down. What is it telling me? It's telling me that the market is losing its strength. It's losing its energy. Do I want to be in a market that is losing its strength? Never. It's not a trend change. Don't go there because that is predicting the market. Do you get that? Do you see the difference? There's no trend change yet. But what it's telling me is slow down, get out, and sit out until the market, tell you what's next. That's what it's telling you. It's not telling you it's changing. That it's saying it's a potential, but it's certainly not telling you that because when you believe that it's a trend change, that's when you're going to start trying to get in the opposite trend. But that's not the case. What is it doing? It's just showing you that it's slowing down. It's telling you slow down. Don't go in at the moment. Wait until I give you that confirmation. That's what it's showing. Okay, so reversal patterns, learn them, live them, love them. Double tops, triple tops, head and shoulders. And when they are with divergence, forget it, right? Even without the divergence, even if it's not a reversal pattern, just a regular market, like right here, you could see here are pivots heading down. Here are pivots going up. So it's already giving me information. The market is about to slow down. And that's exactly what it's doing, right? So I am already prepared. I already am sitting and waiting to see what the market is going to do. And boom, when it gives me massive confirmation and that change of trend, that's when I enter, not because I'm predicting what it's going to do. Okay? Super, super important. Reversal patterns are not to tell you that it's about to reverse. It's telling you that it's a slowing down and there's a high potential of a reversal coming up. So let's put all of this together. Okay, now, again, if you do not have your areas drawn in, if you do not understand the areas, you're going to be missing out on some of the best trades out there. And what are those trades? Breakout trades, right? We all know breakout trades are some of the best trades out there. What are breakout trades? Again, if you do not have your areas drawn in, you're going to miss them, right? What is a breakout trade? So here it is in layman's terms. Very, very easy to understand. You live right here. You live south. Your friend, your best friend or brother or sister or whatever calls you up somebody's house that you've been to a million times and they're like, hey, come over, stop with the bull flag, stop with the 5-wave systems. This is where you guys get lost. It's just an area that is uncertain. Let's just keep it simple. No breakouts, no gaps. Look at what the market is telling you because that's when you start to really predict. So here is the layman's terms, okay? You live down here. Your friend lives totally north of you. You've been to your friend's house a million times and they're having a quick impromptu barbecue. You hop in the car, you're driving, you're all confident. This is you driving on the highway that you know so well, but all of a sudden, there's a huge construction site and the construction worker is like, highway shut, you gotta go on a detour. I don't know about you guys, but I freak out during a detour. Why? I am in complete doubt mode. Okay, I'm not sure where I am right now. What if they don't put up the rest of the construction site, the detour signs? What if I don't know where I'm at? Waves and Google Maps has not caught up yet that this is, it's construction. What if I get super lost? I don't know this area. What if they never open up a construction road? So what's happening in my head? I'm freaking out, right? Because it's uncertain. Now, do you want to be in an area that's uncertain? Do you want to be giving money to me at that moment saying, you know what, you're going to continue to a friend's house in just a second? No, you're probably going to be like, well, let's wait and see what's going on, right? and that's a breakout. But all of a sudden, I mean, and that's this area right here, that detour. But all of a sudden, the construction worker comes out and they're like, okay, the road is fixed. You can get back on the highway. Boom, you're back on the highway. And what do you have? Confidence, because you know that road, you know the area, you have that power up. That's that breakout trade, right? So it's not bull flags or any of that. It's just you're confident. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. It's uncertainty. Oh, boom, they just opened the road. I'm back in the confidence zone. Boom, right here. Nothing to do with gaps. Gap trading is a whole other world. And you should probably focus on that separately, right? Because gap trading can be very tricky. And I have yet to meet some that are really making it happen unless they are putting up a huge amount of risk money. Because what they're going for is that the gap is going to close, and sometimes it does not. Anyway, so this is your breakout. You're driving north. Uh-oh, boom, reopen. Okay, that's what it's about. So it's easier to simplify it rather than think of, wait, what's the name of this pattern? No, there is no pattern. But you better be drawing in your resistance support area, because even if you are thinking of these different patterns without those drawings, and I cannot tell you the amount of people that don't put these drawings in. It's literally getting into the Formula One car and not having your safety belt on. Do you want to crash? All right, guys. So here is a breakout trade, right? You're headed. Here's an indecision area. Boom. So how do I use my indicators? Because now it's about using the indicators. You see my MACDs? Massive, massive, massive strength. No divergence. Boom. We're in a flat zone. It's at the 0 area. Boom. It breaks out right here. So the way I use my EMA lines is this, where I take my trades from. Because you cannot go into market trade if you're a day trader. If you're pressing market, you're not a day trader. Get out right now. What happens when you press market entry? You lose money on slippage. So what do? I am telling the market where I want to enter. That's called a limit order, because I know once it breaks out, and it did, that I'm going to use my EMA line for me to enter the market. What does that mean? Have you ever seen an archer, excuse me, during a competition? They don't walk around aimlessly. They know exactly where to take, they have to stand from before they throw, is that what it is? They throw their arrow to. That's what traders do. This is where I enter my trades. So once that breakout happens here, right, I tell the market I only want to enter it right here, because this is where I know that it's going to ricochet from and continue. So guess what? If you don't get filled in, don't go into FOMO, guys. That means fear of missing out, and that's called chasing a trade, and that's an emotional trade. Guess what doesn't happen? What happens if I don't get filled? Nothing. I have money in my pocket. Guess what? There's 8,000 other trades coming. That kind of a statement shows that it's an emotional trading for you, because you're scared of missing out and you're scared of not being filled. Why would I be scared when I know there's millions of other trades coming? And if it doesn't fill me where I tell it to fill me, I don't want to be in it. Then I'm chasing it. You have to know where you want to enter. You have to know where you want to exit. You have to know where your stop is. If you don't tell the market that, the market is going to be taking money from you all the time, because they're going to know that you're an amateur. So that's the most important thing, guys. It's not about emotional trading. It's not about the fear of not being filled. It's not about chasing that trade. It's about knowing what is happening and reading it and doing it. And when I tell the market what is happening, boom, that's when I enter the market. I have an incredibly strong strategy, and that's how I do it. That's what it's all about. Now, I said the breakout is one of the most important trades out there, but I got another one for you. I call this the initial reaction trade setup. And you know what that is? It's when the trend changes. So one of the coolest other trades you could do, and probably the most effective, is when you are in the beginning of a new trend, right? So think of a trend like this. Imagine you want to start jogging, and you get your shoes on, you get out the door. What's happening when you first get out the door? You are all in. You are full of energy. You are ready to rock and roll, right? That's the beginning of that trend. It's that steam, that power. If I'm going to be, betting on you going far, that's when I'm going to do it, when you get out that door. But you want to make sure that you get in on that getting out that door. So this is my thing. It's after the market shifts direction. After I see here, there's a resistance area. Boom, it shifts. the MACD's shift, everything is telling me, and I enter again at the EMA line. I want you guys to stay to the end because I've got a really cool bonus for you guys. And now we're actually going to go into the live market. Are you guys ready to go into the live market? All right. Can you guys tell me if you could see my charts? Let me know if you guys are seeing my charts. Yes, no. All right, awesome. Okay, so these are my charts. So a lot of you people have been asking me several things. One, what is my time frame? So if you can notice right here, I don't use a time frame. I use tick charts. What are tick charts? So I love tick charts because I like simplicity. What is simplicity? So tick chart, as you can see right here, each one of my candlesticks, it's showing me 610 transactions per bar. What does that mean? Right here it says ticks counting. That means I am in the live market seeing exactly how many transactions are happening. I get to eliminate the volume indicator because the volume indicator is notoriously a lagging indicator. But right here, I see that. So if you guys going to ask me, so what's your time frame? I'm going to tell you right now, I don't use one. I do not use the 1 minute or the 5 minute. But I do know that some softwares do not, some platforms do not give you the option for tick charts, although tick charts are very common. This is not anything special. But if you do not have access to it, I recommend the 1 minute is the closest to it. Okay. So it simply is because you get to see the actual volume in front of you. Now, some of you guys asked me what my EMAs are. I use 3 EMA periods. I use the 52 EMA period, the 20 EMA period, and the 135 EMA period. And my MACDs right here, they're just on the most universal setting, 12, 26, 9. However, and this is on any platform, when you look at the MACD indicator itself, it actually gives you 3 things at once. It gives you the actual MACDs, then it gives you the average and the difference. As you can notice, I like simplicity. I actually make the average and the difference completely transparent. Some platforms, you could actually make it invisible altogether. I just do not find use for them. If you're going to be having any indicator on your chart, guys, you better ask yourself this question. How is this helping me? Because I used to use 10 indicators and 3 charts, and I have to tell you right now, 8 of those indicators were useless and 2 of the other charts were totally pointless, and I was in analysis paralysis the whole time. Now, as you can see here, we have some really interesting movement. Right here is a pretty significant resistance area, right here. So if I don't have this in, boom, I would miss my beautiful breakout trade, right? And it continues up, and then boom, I have another massive area forming right here. So I would be getting stopped out if I continued going in here. However, as you can see right now, and again, it's towards the end of the day, we are in a pretty significant channel. So I would need to completely see it break out either to the bottom or break out to the top. But I am not going to be predicting or saying what it's going to do simply because it was going up during the day. Okay, now I have these drawn in every time I sit at my computer at my charts. This is how I do my due diligence, because otherwise I would be getting stopped out and I would be missing out on some seriously amazing trades. Okay, right now it's coming to the end of the day. That's why it's also super slow. And I get to see that. Look at that. I am literally able to count the amount of transactions happening in live time. But sometimes when the volatility is high, and that's when you really want to be in the market, you will love to, it's great to see it moving, right? And that's when you really want to see. The more volume you have, the better. At what point do you draw your support and resistance after it retouches twice? 3 times. I like to do it at 3 times, but when it does it 2 times, I like to notice that as a reversal pattern. But I normally like to do it at least 3 or 4 more times. That's when I realize, wait, this is an area that I need to really pay attention to. And that's how it is. So that's what you guys really need to do. And this is free. This is on any single platform you guys are going to be using. You do not need to buy softwares and algorithms and bots. Save your money, guys. Those things do not work. The only people making money from that are the ones that are selling it to you. Okay? But you do need a good platform. All right, guys. So let's get back into the presentation. Okay, so now after understanding and seeing all this, I have a really important question for you guys before we finish up, okay? My question is, how many of you guys here struggle with your trading because of your strategy or your plan, or even worse, lacking one of them? How many of you guys do not have a completely solid strategy and plan that you fully trust and use all of the time? And simplicity. Like I mentioned before, simplicity is absolutely key to everything you are going to do. Simplicity. To avoid that stress and the analysis paralysis, it's limiting your indicators, it's limiting your monitors. So if you guys do not have a strategy, a plan, are you going to get in your car and just accidentally turn it on and take it on the Autobahn where they're going 90 miles per hour? That is the plan, right? People don't understand that the exact same amount of adrenaline, endorphins, whatever you want to call it, is being used in the live market with real money. Do you want to be putting real money when you don't have a plan? Please don't. I help day traders read the markets with confidence and ease, because if you're not reading that confidence, if you don't understand that when the traffic light goes from green to orange, it's telling you to slow down, and a red is meaning it's do not move, how are you going to be able to really make it? Think of it like this, guys. I know that being in a car right now is so it's just so automatic for us, but it wasn't when we first got in, right? And a lot of people are telling me, oh my gosh, you have such discipline, you know when not to get in. But when you're in the car and you see a red light, do you question it? No, you stop. That is a strategy of driving, because you know three things can happen. One, you can get pulled over. Two, you can get run over. Three, you can actually run over somebody if you're gonna throw. So you don't take that chance, right? It's not a question. You don't question it. You just do it. That's what it's about. That is part of being a plan. I master the art of the high probability trade setups by using all of that we are just looking at right now, the foundation of it. The reality is, too many seasoned and inspiring traders are experiencing more losses than wins. I have traders coming up to me after presentations such as this, or when I'm in live, asking me, how is it that I do it? How do you trade from anywhere, first of all? And how do you do it successfully and consistently? How do you do it for only a couple of hours per day at most? So I started to make videos and easy tutorials. And before I knew it, I actually created an entire library. And now I want to share that with you. I am introducing to you guys my main course, Simplifying Day Trading Futures course. You can take this course on any apparatus, laptop, desktop, iPhone, Samsung, or Android, anywhere from your tablets. Here's what you get in your course. First of all, everything you need to know in a simplified version of understanding how to trade. And a lot of people don't even have a platform and they're already giving money to the market. I help you. If you have a platform and you don't fully understand how to set it up, or you've never used one, 30 minutes, your platform is set up. It's part of the tutorial. Boom, you're up and running. You don't want to be losing time on something that is not as important as learning how to trade. We will be going over everything that we are just shown right now, dissecting the markets, understanding truly and having that implementation and the breakdown, uptrending, sideways, downwards, the magic telltale signs, the reversals, the divergences, breakouts, the top market movers and entries to fully understand that. And the step-by-step mindfulness, because I'm telling you over and over again, day trading is not only about the charts, it's about your mental preparation, understanding, and truly, truly being in the moment, trading in the moment exercises, because that's what's going to really make the difference. And back testing. If you don't back test, forget it. You're never going to be able to do it. So we go over all of that. And having true live support, maximizing your profits while minimizing your risks. And the strategy. Having a strategy plan that you could fully trust and rely on no matter what the market condition is in front of you. And the reality is the market is going to be doing crazy stuff all the time. So you have to be able to read it, understand it, and to be able to really take the trades that go with each position, every kind of a market condition. And you'll get unlimited access to this curriculum all the time. You have access all the time. So you get 30-minute platform tutorial setup. I'm with you through all of that. Market language, implementation, step-by-step mindful trading guide, having live support in place, and a true solid strategy that you could fully rely on. Here's the thing, guys. We have everything we need. We have the YouTube channel, we have the YouTube videos, we have these summits, we have books, we have all of this. But the reality is, how do you know you are doing it right? How do you know you are doing it right? How do you know that this is so wrong? Look at this. This is one of my students. This is called trigger happy. This is over trading. And if you notice, the majority of the trades are in and out of flat areas, being stopped out. And even if you make it, guess what? Commissions alone is going to eat you up. You're not going to come up with anything. And if we're going to be going for 1 point over smaller targets, which is that little one box, this is an area somebody drew in. What do you guys see here? It's an entire trend, another a breakout, and another trend. So you really want to, this is wrong, but they don't have a clue if it is. How do they know they're doing it right? So here's what some of my students have said, and I have students from all over the world trading. That's the beauty of trading, right? You do not need to be in Europe or States or Canada. You could be anywhere in the world. And here's what some of my students have said, that they have had aha moments working with me in this course. And it makes it so simple. Here's Chad. This is what he says, that he loved this trading style, and it's now helping him keep him out of the chop. And he wishes he met me before 2016 because now his win percentage is increasing. And Dawn, Marina truly helps her students learn, ensures confidence, teaches proper trading habits to reduce the greed. Guys, greed is a killer. And if you don't know how to reduce those tendencies or even know that they're there, you will end up losing it all. So let me share something really, really important with you guys. Here's the thing. It is completely okay for athletes, CEOs to be working with mentors and coaches to really help them. I am offering this as part of the course. It's completely free, included in the course, 6 months of working one-on-one with me, unlimited one-on-one feedback and mentorship. So you never have to question, how do I know I'm doing it right? My students alone say that this part alone is priceless. Okay. And the other thing is setups, trade setups. You will be having with the course trade setups that you can use any condition. And that is included in the course. And I know 100% for a fact that the majority of courses, they make you pay per trade setup. I know for a fact because I was one of those, right? Are you guys losing me? Because you're saying that the generator, why? I hope that I'm not. No, I hope not. I'm still good. Okay, so guys, here you are. You are going to get the trade setups included in this, all of my trade setups. And the best for last, you get to do this live with me. You'll get 30 days free membership in my live trade chat room. I have a weekly live trade chat room. Me. There are no moderators. I do not hire anybody else. It's always going to be me. You're going to be mentored by me. You're going to be in my live trade chat room. This is all for you guys. Okay. All of this is valued at $7,000. Now imagine if this course can finally allow you to earn $15,000 to $100,000 per year trading. It will be completely worth it. Imagine if all this was at least cut your learning time in half. This course can shorten your time to get you to your trading goal by half the time, avoid the pain, frustration, and so much wasted energy. Wouldn't that alone be worth that one-time payment of $7,000? I have purposely made my course unlike any other course. My years of experience with all my simplified strategy is what will take you to the next step and will really help you excel in your day trading. Here's the deal. I could have made this program super cheap, but the reality is my investment in my students, the time I spend with these students during their mentorship and the coaching that I offer cannot be offered to a widespread amount of students. I simply won't be able to focus on my students to help them truly succeed because so many traders fail. And this is a known fact. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys because do you really want to be another statistic? With simplifying day trading, you will not be another statistic. Okay, what if you were a successful trader right now, fully supporting you and your family, getting to do what you love for a short period of time per day from anywhere in the world? What is that worth to you? How much would you invest in your life, living, doing what you love, not wasting any more time with inconsistencies and doubt and donating that money to the market over and over again? But you finally have that time for yourself, your family, and not to worry about money. Okay, you could see why people will pay $7,000 for these results because it's not a cost, it is an investment. But for you guys, for the people who have arrived here today, and I'm so grateful for you guys, participants alive right now, everything that I just showed you, everything, $448. $448. That's it. No hidden costs, no hidden fees. You get all of this. You go right here, right now, simplifyingfutures.com. Simplifyingfutures.com. This is where you'll get everything you'll need. Simplifyingfutures.com. Here are some more testimonials. Best decision I ever made, buying your course. Absolutely great. Marina answers all your questions. There's no rich, quick scheme here. Honest, needing time, and working. Marina is great. All her courses can make you a star. Stop placements. So you don't know. So you stop with these mental stops, the importance of the risk management, being conservative, trend, understanding those trends, truly understanding and seeing where you go, analyzing how the market is doing. Is still going in the right direction? Reversals, upcoming reversals. All of these potentials, having that flat understanding. Take this course because you will become a star. But here is the real thing, guys. I am only able to take on 25 spots. Because of my one-on-one mentorship, I am not able to work with more than 25 students at a time so that you can get my full attention. And like I promised before, that extra special bonus, the 30 days free membership in the live trade chat room. You get that included in the course. And all of this, 448, simplifyingfutures.com. Go here right now, guys, simplifyingfutures.com. Okay, so let's get real. $448. I know for a fact that that is the average trade. I know for a fact because I've been there. I know what trades are. So for $448, not only will you get setups, trade setups that you'll be using to make that money back almost instantly, you'll also be working with me one-on-one, asking me, seeing if it's right, really learning the charts, really there. And on top of that, I am there supporting you going in the live market. And people who all my students have been now in my live trade chat room since then have gone live because of it, because they're seeing how to implement, how to put it real, how to actually take the markets and understanding how they are. So here's a question. I live in the UK and I have had a very busy day. Would you be able to call me or can I have a number to call you tomorrow? So you could email me, please. I don't know your name, so it says trader. Please email me, the trader chick at gmail.com. Aaron, the trader chick at gmail.com. I know for you it's really late now, right? The trader chick at at gmail.com. Sounds like a really good deal, Marina. Can you tell me which instruments you trade most frequently? I personally trade the ES, which is the S&P 500. However, my course, you could apply to any instrument that you use, but you need to be consistent with the instrument. You cannot go back and forth because that will also, oops, hang on a second. That's how you could end up losing money. Okay. So it's about consistency and you will be able to learn entirely with this. $448, guys. Come on. Simplifyingfutures.com. go here right now, simplifyingfutures.com. Do you help us develop? Absolutely. You develop a trading plan. I do not want to be the driver's ed teacher pressing on the pedal. I want you guys to fully soar and understand how to do this on your own. Absolutely. Simplifyingfutures.com. So join me guys today. Here are some more testimonials. Marina's right. Start today. I wish I found Marina sooner. I had zero experience, non-techie, and I'm totally catching on. Just wanted to tell you I'm thoroughly enjoying your classes and your professional trading support is incredible. Okay, so here's everything, guys. You get the tutorial setups right away. Awesome. What's your name? Thank you so much. I don't know your name, but I'm excited to work with you. So let me know your name so that I look out for you, please. Okay, guys, remember 6 months one-on-one working with me. That's it. 6 months one-on-one working with me. Okay, just don't go putting in money into a trade that you'll end up losing way more than this course. $448. I know for a fact nobody else offers what I do. Haley Harper, awesome. Haley, thank you. All right, guys, you get trade setups, a plan, everything you will need. Work with me, okay? And live. We are going to be doing this live in the live market. So again, I'm only able to take on 25 students. I have not seen how many people signed up other than Haley. But again, 25 students is going to fill up really, really quick. So guys, go here again, simplifyingfutures.com. And the coolest thing is you can start today for $99. It's a payment plan, $99, $99. Come on. And you get access to everything immediately. $99 and you get access to everything right away. So remember, 25 students, this is what it's going to look like, simplifyingfutures.com. So you get to start at $99 if you can't do the $448 all at once. Absolutely, it's your choice. All right, guys, simplifyingfutures.com. Let me know if there's any other questions, you guys. And thank you so, so much for being here. And I'm so grateful my computer did not die. And we still don't have any electricity. So, yay, I made it. I'm so grateful. I was really worried that I would not even be able to make it through the whole presentation. But again, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking your time. And you don't have to do this alone, okay? $448. That is the average price of a trade. So let's do it, guys. I am excited to work with you guys. And again, any questions, please let me know. I am here for you. All right, let me see. Is there any other questions? And thank you, Anna, so very much for being here and for letting me be here. I really appreciate this. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yes, there will be a recording. Absolutely. All right, guys. Any other questions? Simplifyingfutures.com. Go there. Really rare opportunity. It's only offered to people that are live, and I do not have that much space. Simplifyingfutures.com. Let me know if there's any other questions. And if not, thank you again and have a super rest of your Wednesday.